Hi, I'm Dr. Mike from the Springfield Wellness Center, and what we're going to talk about today is rowing. So the Concept 2 or the water rowers are becoming more and more popular in gyms and CrossFit gyms across the country. And so I'm just going to go through kind of the basic setup on the rower, how to get the most bang for your buck, and then also some individual specific mobility things that may be hindering or limiting your rowing ability. When you first get to the rower, the first thing you have to do is set up the foot pedals. So with the foot pedals, when you get your heel locked into the boot here, we want to make sure that your ball of your foot is sitting right about this kind of corrugated part here. And so when I put my feet in, get ready to strap in, the ball of my foot is lined up right in the center of this. Get myself strapped in. From there, I'm good to go. In terms of the damper, it's kind of a personal preference. I do all of my rowing at about 5.5 on the damper just because I know how it feels, whether it's a calorie row or a distance row or a sprint row. I know exactly how it's going to feel and how hard to push and what my ability and capability is. There's a way if you go to the Concept 2 website to determine ideal drag factor, it's called. It's a complicated process, so I won't go through it today, but you can check out their website to kind of see where you ideally fit into that. With rowing in general, there's 3 basic movements that we go back with and come forward with. First initiation of movement is through our hips. Think like a deadlift, think like a squat. We want to make our first movement through the hips, extend the knees, pull into the back end of it, and then go in reverse. So arms, knees, hips. And so when I grab the handle and start the row, hips, knees, arms, reverse in the exact same motion. Where a lot of people get in trouble with, especially with sprints, 500-meter sprints, 100-meter sprints, is they get really toesy, so they get up really far on their toes, and then when they push, their line of drive is actually elevated, so that's going to shoot them off of the seat. Same thing with a deadlift. We want to make sure that our heels stay grounded, and we push in a straight line back, starting with the hips, coming back in this direction versus getting really far up on my toes, and then, like I said, elevating ourselves off of it, where people may be limited would be in ankle flexibility if they can't get in all the way or they can't get a good line of drive without having to elevate that heel too much. Ankle mobility would be a very good place to start. Second is going to be hip mobility. So if I get to the back end of my stroke and I can't fully extend my hips to get a little extra that drive out of it, same sort of thing, another limiting factor that we're going to see. Another thing that we tend to see with rowing, long distance or sprinting, is a very, very hunched upper body. So in this kind of a position, and this is just not efficient for much of anything. Think about somebody that sits at a desk all day. They're sitting like this, they're typing, they're writing, really poor posturing, and there's nothing else that we would do exercise-wise that correlates or is similar to that posture. Think about doing like a front squat with a really rounded upper back. Terrible idea, you're not gonna be very efficient. Keeping good and tall through my midsection, pulling from here, so hips, knees, arms, back in the same exact direction. And regardless of the intensity, the speed, the strokes per minute, whatever it should be, it should always look the same, whether I'm doing a 20-minute row for maximum meters or I'm doing a 500-meter rowing sprint. It should always look the same on the way back as well as on the way forward. If you're looking for those specific things, if you know your ankles, your hips, your thoracic spine, maybe your limiting factor when it comes to rowing or other exercises, please be sure to check our other videos. We got plenty of other videos that go through specific mobility and stretching exercise pieces for those. And hopefully you found this video to be useful. If you did, like it and share it.